All right, so again, a little more detail in the training manual, read those instructions. Now, neutral Quat. We provided this in there because as far as odor goes, some of the stuff that can cause odor can be killed by the neutral Quat, but it also acts as a hospital-grade disinfectant. And we've tried to provide that because, you know, some of the odor removal stuff isn't just tobacco. Some of that's other stuff. Things like mold and mildew, right? We've got a lot of, you know, basements and you start to get this musty smell. If you're cleaning either flood extraction out of those areas or just regular cleaning, they tend to have this musty, mildewy smell. The neutral Quat kills mold and mildew as well as tons of other things. So as far as odor removal goes, anything that has that musty, mildewy smell, instead of doing the spray with the tobacco attack, this is for tobacco smells, I would go ahead and clean with hot water extraction cleaning, and then I would mix the neutral Quat up and spray that down on any of the carpet and upholstery in order to kill the mold and mildew right at the source, and thus killing the smell with it. Okay, and has a nice sort of Febreze smell to it, acts as its own deodorizer. All right, so that's the application of the neutral Quat. So hot water extraction clean first, apply the neutral Quat to kill mold and mildew, and then I can go ahead with a Thermo 55 using the same procedure as far as fogging that room to get all the nooks and crannies in the ductwork and so forth. Now, a lot of other uses for the neutral Quat product as well. If I'm going into a hospital and I mention something like a quaternary disinfectant, which is what this is, they know that kind of stuff if you're talking to the right people. So they know that quaternary disinfectants like this, there's a number of different types and a little bit different procedure for applying these different types of products. This particular one is a no-rinse formula, okay, and it generally dilutes 1 ounce per gallon. So if I've got a full gallon of solution, I've got 128 ounces in here, I can make 128 gallons of solution. So as far as costs go, I got very little cost. The reason why it's a great product to have on board and to incorporate into your business is the value that's added for that kind of a service is great. So I got a very low cost, very high value. That means more profit for me and much benefit for the customer. So if you remember in class, we talked about several ways to incorporate this additional income stream or this added value service into your spiel or into your list of services. So if I've got something that's a mold or a mildew, that's a no-brainer. That's obvious. I can come in and kill that with the neutral Quat. But if I've got an assisted living environment or any of your schools, daycare centers, or things like that, the people that are running those places and that have the control to change the cleaning habits, to stroke the check really, and pay you to come in and clean their carpets, when I start to hit to the heart of what matters to them, I might be striking a chord that really rings because of sanitary reasons. They see the value, huge value, for the children if they're in a safer environment, and they know that they're doing their part of all they can do to make sure that the kids are in a safe and a clean and healthy environment. So any educator, you know, is going to have that in their heart if they're really called to that purpose. So if I'm just doing carpet cleaning and I'm trying to market myself to clean carpet in any of those kinds of areas where, you know, health is an issue and it's at the heart of the people that run those places, I'm going to market this as an additional service. I may or may not charge extra for it, depending on what it is that I'm putting down, because this is next to nothing as far as cost goes. But if I'm just cleaning the carpets, I can come in with a pump-up spray and spray that down in no time. I mean, it really is hardly anything for me. But that might be the thing that I throw in at the end of my discussion to seal the deal. If I'm real close to landing the account, it's just something that comes, you know, on board at the end. I might not do carpet protectant, but I am going to fiber rinse and do all those other things. So I'm building value in my service, cleaning to a standard, but then I have this in my back pocket that I could say, hey, we're going to come in, we're going to apply this neutral Quat product, give them a brochure. You know, you can print out any of the stuff that's in your training manual in tab number 10. There's an extended, about a 35-page write-up on neutral Quat in there. And it tells you how to apply it in a number of different areas, everything from food processing plants to dog kennels, all kinds of places. It tells you exact instructions, and you can print those out that are kind of specific for that environment so that folks realize that, hey, you've done your research and you're doing something specific for their industry that's going to help them be a better company. Generally, with the neutral quat, you can apply it. You want to keep it wet for 10 minutes. So you mean apply it liberally enough to where it stays wet for 10 minutes, and it needs that time in order to kill all the viruses, everything from salmonella to parvo, H1N1, HIV, herpes simplex, all kinds of stuff. So refer back to tab number 10 and be armed with that information to be able to articulate that to your customer, because obviously parvo is a little more to the heart of people that are working in dog kennels. Staph infection would be much more to the heart of people who are working in CrossFit or MMA type gyms where people, or wrestling mats, things like that. So 10 minutes, when you're cleaning carpets and the carpet's already clean, I could spray this down afterwards. The carpet is most likely going to stay wet for 10 minutes, so I can just spray it down and I'm done. But anything that's hard surface, I'm going to need to make sure that I spray enough down that it stays wet for 10 minutes. You don't have to rinse it, but anything that is going to be in a food service or food prep area needs to be rinsed off. If you're in a school or something like that where you can even make up a batch of this stuff, a couple gallons, maybe in a 5-gallon bucket or in a big sink, all the toys for the children, right? You can mix this up, you can put all the toys in there, you can let this stuff sit for 10 minutes so it kills off everything. But anything that children may be putting in their mouth or anything with a food prep area where it's not meant to be ingested. So those would have to be rinsed off thoroughly before returning back to an area where a child could get a hold of it. But other than that, for regular concrete, tile surfaces, carpet, all that stuff, you can just make sure that it's down enough so that it stays wet for 10 minutes so it can do its action. Now, if you want to provide a service where you come back and rinse after that 10 minutes, that's really going to be between how you sell the job and what the specific needs of that particular company are. So if you need to rinse it, no problem, you can do that. But a lot of places, you just spray it down and then you're good to go. So that's a little bit on the fogger and the chemical that is associated with it, as well as the neutral quat. For the fogger, again, refer to the manual that's going to be in a PDF form on the TMT support website for detailed instructions. And there's also some instructions about the solutions themselves and a little bit more verbiage in there for you to be able to help articulate that and sell that job to your client. And then the neutral quat, again, go to tab number 10 in your big training manual. That's going to give you a ton of information about how to apply it in various different environments and how to sell that job also. Remember, it's an added value. And a lot of times, even putting in smoke remediation or the odors from those smoke, you can add that to your service for hotels, even when remodeling homes or reselling homes, getting those things ready to go. That's something that a lot of people aren't offering. So add that value to your service. Make yourself stand out from the crowd and be more valuable in this industry.